Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a fantastic display of intellect, of power, of thought, invention. I thought I would draw your attention to something else. As you can see, I am a musician. I have all my paraphernalia here, my instrument, my cello. However, today I'd like to present myself to you as an insurance salesman. I'll reveal what kind of insurance and how to get it in a bit. But first, I'll talk a little bit about inspiration. Inspirators from the soul, in the soul, that spark that needs to be cherished, protected, and fed with appropriate material for that fire not to go off throughout our entire life. Because anything we do, anything you do, comes from that very spark, the spark of inspiration. Several years ago, I was asked to give a talk in front of a large group of insurance professionals. And I put the phone down and think, what in the world can I tell these people that, first of all, totally unaware of the field and what they do, yet I wanted to relate somehow that something I do actually fits right into their work. And as I started thinking about it, I thought, well, there's an insurance policy for anything and everything you can probably imagine. For any situation, a building, a body part. Yes, pianists insure their fingers, sometimes individually for different amounts. Yes. And as I went down the list of what can be and is insured in this world, I figured that there's only one thing that is not insured. It's our souls. There's no insurance for the soul. How do you write up an insurance policy for the soul? How one does it? And the more I thought about it, of course, there's no such thing. It cannot be invented. So it's our own responsibility to write out our own insurance policies for our own souls. And since this room has so many influencers and educators, I would invite you to join me in my mission to create insurance for the soul and sell it, quote unquote, to our younger generation. How? I think music, art, dance, visual art, we have at our disposal, basically at the push of a button now on our smartphones, on our television, anywhere. I think it's our job to show younger generation that it's right here and draw from it. When I was 6.5 years old, my parents took me to audition for a special music school back in Russia. Music education was a must. You will play an instrument. I said no. My grandmother said yes. I said no. Bam. That's how I started. Very, very inspiring story. My parents wanted me to play a piano. I didn't play any instruments. And when we entered the school, there was a large number of kids already with instruments playing, and they're already far ahead of me. And I thought, whoa, great, I'm not going to get in. So after the audition process and the evaluation, the panel of professors, etc., and we left home. Next day, we came for the results, and to my greatest joy, my parents didn't find my name in the list of admitted. However, my father kind of went through the list of all the instruments posted on the wall. And he found my name in the cello list. I said, wait a second. We want him to play piano. But the principal said, well, you have 24 hours to think about it. There are a line of people who would like to get into the school even on a triangle. So please, nothing against the percussionists. So please think fast. So my goodness, so the concilium, the family concilium, with my grandmother presiding, said, yes, you will play cello, in fact. And here I am, many decades later in front of you. You don't have a soul, said C.S. Lewis. You are a soul. You have a body. And if that's true, how much time do we spend in taking care of our body, and how much time do we spend and resources to take care of our souls? The first moment when I thought that music exists and inspiration exists came to me when I was about 11 or 12 years old. And I remember very clearly the moment when I was practicing, playing music by Bach. And that happened. That moment happened. I said, whoa, what just happened? What did I do? How did I want it again? Sort of like drugs. Yeah, I want it again. Not that I know. And from that moment on, I started practicing and preparing for lessons for me, for myself, for my own soul. To the next lesson I came, and I asked probably 5 million questions. My teacher said, what happened? I don't know. I said, what happened? Just tell me how to get this again. I want to feel it again. And through development, through hard work, it came again and again and again. And then time came for me to give it out, to send it out, to inspire others, to give this feeling to people who can't do that, but want that feeling. And I'm thankful to my mother, to my grandmother, and to everybody who was involved during that time. Now, during past 300 years, music of Johann Sebastian Bach inspired anybody who heard it, may I say. Inspired great thinkers and writers, inventors from Nikola Tesla to Albert Einstein, who played the violin himself while thinking about his theories. The first open heart surgery performed by Dr. Barnard in 1967 was performed while music was playing in an operating room. Music of Bach was sent up to space on NASA's Voyager 1 in 1977. So we have sort of music of Bach imprinted on a business card of humanity, sent all the way up. I will play for you a few notes, but I'd like to ask you something. This is not a performance. I'm not here to perform. I would like to send you a message to your soul, from my soul. And if you don't mind, not to applaud at the end, but rather take it and take it further and distribute that feeling to your circles of influence, to your students in your schools. Keep that flame alive, and I think everything else will come in place just nicely.